So absolute chaos is breaking out after the recent announcement by Trump through a press conference and formally on the website and through a truth post about the Trump Gold Card, as well as announcements to some changes in the H1B visa. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about all of the announcements, as well as some implications specifically from a white hat point of view. A lot of Q posts and other things, people are trying to make sense of this at this particular time because a lot is going on, but this is kind of flying under the radar in the midst of a lot of the Charlie Kirk stuff, as well as just various other news. So let's talk quickly about what this is. So in a double announcement, both on Truth Social as well as online, he talked about some of the details of this gold Trump card. And so it costs $1 million for individuals and $2 million for corporations. And essentially it's an expedited process to allow permanent residency, i.e. a green card, so that it not only helps foreigners to get into the country quickly, but it also generates over, according to Trump, $1 billion very quickly and can be used for reducing taxes, grow pro-growth projects, and paying down the U.S. debt. So the website trumpcard.gov also outlines some of these things in a nice to look at sort of placard and announcement and detail. And so one of the things that's noted here is that a Trump Platinum card is also going to come at a cost of $5 million. And so that allows you to, I think, stay up to 270 days in the U.S. without being subject to U.S. taxes. There's also one for the business, as I had mentioned. Now, in that same video, he talked about the H1B visa costing $100,000. Now, this is where the chaos is happening because according to the fact sheet and the announcement that this is a once-a-year fee, but according to Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, this is a one-time fee. And so a lot of people are confused about this, and there's a lot of going back and forth. So as you can imagine, a lot of the press response and the confusion, especially for companies, has been very crazy. In fact, there are videos going around, this is on TikTok, where shortly after the announcement, there are people that were flying to India on, I think this was a viral like Emirates flight, and they deplaned in the middle of takeoff, meaning like right before they were about to take off. And they allowed them to do that because they thought that once you leave, you can't come back without paying that, or you will be barred from entering the country. And so there was a lot of confusion for this. Now, the issue that this affects is more specifically their relations with India, because I think the H1B visa, according to, and don't quote me on this, but about 60-70% of Indians are actually the ones that are taking this visa. And really the argument behind this is that you're vetting people that have the cream of the crop, top of the top people that can support the U.S. instead of letting the lower quote unquote tier of people come into the U.S. according to what they had mentioned here in the press conference. And what it's incentivizing is that corporations specifically will pay this fee sort of like, to their analogy, sports like baseball or football, where it's like a signing bonus to get them to stay and have the most successful people in the country. Now, I'm talking about both the Trump card and the H1B in the incentive, or rather the outcome that this should be bringing. But the trouble that comes with the H1B is that it's costing a lot, and people have to fork out and determine if this is actually a value-adding thing from a corporate and individual perspective versus just hiring U.S. workers. And the whole point of this is that it would allow over time for college grads and US-based workers to be trained and used so that it would build the local economy within the United States. And then with the Trump card, it allows the best of the best to come into the country, especially as they invest their money and bring in lots more dollars. And apparently they've vetted this and had agreement with the big tech companies and many other companies because they asked them what you thought of it and they were in agreement and alignment with it. So the concept is pretty simple. It's really trying to get the best of the best, high capital, high value individuals who can benefit the U.S. commerce and industry. And so we've had people that were removed from the country or the blockade, the border walls and immigration and ICE to help with removing people and keeping people out. Now we have a process that is going to hopefully bring in high quality individuals or keep high quality individuals in the States. Now, a lot of people are equating this Trump announcement to some of the Q posts where people are anticipating this Trump card. So is this the Trump card? Because it refers to post 1201 as well as 2936. At what stage in the game do you play the Trump card? Now, Grasshopper17 gives a good breakdown of some of the correlations between this post as well as the information that it's supposed to give us, referring to post 96, 884, as well as 3616. So the Great Awakening, you are the news now, handled with care. Post 884 saying, we work for you, we listen to you, you push to IBOR, and immediately POTUS began to comment, take action RE social media. Play the game with us. So the question a lot of us are having is, what is the ultimate end goal for all of this, as well as why the timing now? Now, of course, on the outside, it's very obvious what it's going to do to help the country. Now, people may not agree with it. People may see it as being, racist or anti-American, or it's going to actually backfire and all that stuff. But I believe it will actually help India. A lot of people have actually posted already, not just India, but other countries, that when good talent returns back to that country after being educated here, going to the best colleges, they're going to take that talent, they're going to grow India. And people have actually already broken down some of the macroeconomic sort of factors and some of the repercussions of this being in a good way. And so economists, business people, they're going to argue a lot of different things, but all in all, it's going to help, I believe, the Americans. It's going to help the country, but at the same time, it's going to remove and vet out not only from the high level, but the low level, removing people and bringing people in. So it's very easy to see the benefits of this. Those that don't see it, they don't really understand some of the business and the financial, the economic sides to all of this. But more importantly, why now, and what is another way to look at this? And I believe that a lot of it is just very simple. It's just that you've got to make America great again, Trump's logo and mantra, but it's also helping clean out some of the issues with people behind closed doors. A lot of the, people coming into the country doing a lot of weird stuff. And I think they've logged a lot of that, and they're trying to make sure that everything's buttoned up, especially going to the next elections. And also because it's needed, because people are crying wolf over the streets and all of that. It's in conjunction with the National Guard stuff. It's in conjunction with the ICE stuff, the borders, and it's very clear. And so as part of that, I think it's great. Let's see how it turns out. But even as this news is breaking in the last day, I'm trying to get my mind around what else there might be. And we'll see as the news settles, as the dust settles. I would love to know your opinions and your thoughts on if there's other stuff deeper than what really here is at face value. Because yes, many of us thought the Trump card was something other than maybe this, but this is literally the definition of what the Trump card is. And if that's the case and this is the correlation, then so be it. If there's other stuff and there's going to be posts and deltas that equate to whatever the action is later on, because again, there's dual meaning, literally and figuratively, as well as just a catchphrase to say there's something in your back pocket in terms of strategy that Trump wants to execute, and that could be the Trump card. So more to come, guys. Just wanted to give you guys this quick update and also give attention to my fundraiser. You guys know I have been advertising this and just letting you guys know that I need the help financially. If you guys want to help me out, givesendgo.com/chrisyoonyt. The information is down in the link below. I also have Zelle, PayPal, and Venmo. We're trying to meet our goal to help me with all the things that are going on behind closed doors, the infrastructure, my team, and just everything that is happening here, especially as I'm on mission here in Korea, as God has called me here in this next season of life. All of the information is down in the link below, givesendgo.com/chrisyoonyt. Would love it if you guys can help me reach my goal. We're almost there, but it's been stalling a little bit, so I'm hoping that I can continue to advocate for this until we reach the goal, and then we won't talk about it as much anymore. So love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you guys very soon.